Welcome to Mindflow Radio.
So buckle your seatbelts and get ready to take a trip towards reality. She's Jai Lynn.
And he is Monte.
And here we are, another beautiful month on planet Earth.
Yep.
The great adventure continues because truly life is a great adventure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not all easy, that's for sure.
No.
Not all hard either.
Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Ultimately, I think we're spiritual beings having a temporary human experience.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I frame it in my own mind. That helps me get through challenging times and not... It kind of directs my mind not to just focus on the negative experiences that are occurring. Because I think there's always challenges. You know, there's a lot of people who believe that this planet is just a training ground.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, that's true for everybody's. We all have challenges.
Right.
No matter how rich you are, how poor you are. And I think...
And we come here and we don't remember anything. So we're just completely left to our own imaginations and
right.
guessing everything because
and whatever
nobody
the
knows
TV
anything.
tells us, if you're a little kid sitting in front of the TV, you know, or the screen of some sort. But alas, we're adults, and I personally resonate with the idea that we are, in fact, vibrations of energy. And the more we can harmonize our personal vibration with the universal vibration, the more effective we are at manifesting and living a productive and interesting life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I wanted to share something that I've been working on strongly to shift my life and my experience. I've had quite the journey. Basically being exposed to my own negative patterns and what do I want to do with them and it's been this really intense year of trying to own up to my subconscious, my patterns, and so on and so forth. And I've really leaned heavy on Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I highly, highly suggest, and Shanti. And recently I've run into Dolores Cannon and Carolyn Mace. I know y'all have heard me talk about her before. These are greats in our world, and they have very similar messages. And what I feel is super important is that we all have difficult reality. The reality is an illusion, but that's hard to face. We've lived a life that has all these patterns in it of attracting the same kind of people into our lives that send us down the same journey, and then we don't learn. And then we break up with that person and end up with another person that's very similar. And what is all that about? And so I ran into Dolores Cannon's work recently. And of course, there's this interweaving of all the similarities. And one thing that she says is that if we want to get off the wheel of karma, then we have to completely forgive. And we have to completely let go of fear, because this is a school. We're here to learn, and we've all taken it way too seriously. in the way of thinking it's reality and not a training ground.
Yeah.
And so if we're on this training ground and we've had these weird patterns in our life, how do we think we're going to change them? First, we have to even notice that we have the pattern. And that is so hard for many, many people. It's so much easier to blame the other person. It's like, oh no, it's you. I don't know why I keep attracting all of the people that do these same things. I don't know what's their problem. It's like, it's my problem. Do you realize how many people cannot look in the mirror and go, I did that. I did that. And I think that's like a big problem with humans is we have a really hard time going, I did that.
Right. Well, we're kind of in the habit of blaming others for all our issues. I mean, typically, and one way to overcome that, I think, is just seeing the perfection of what's happening for me, when I engage with difficult situations, I realize that this is something I need to learn. This is something I need to learn from. I brought it onto myself, that I perfectly get what I deserve. And I can only speak for myself when it comes to that. But I do believe that. But
I think that even you can admit that sometimes it's hard to do that.
Oh, sure it is. Well, it's challenging. Absolutely. We have many years of training where we're I don't know, the good guy, bad guy thing. They're bad, I'm good.
Right.
And that's the problem with humanity. That's why we get into so many wars, because we point our fingers. They're bad. We're good.
My beliefs are good. Your beliefs are bad. Yeah. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's our human history right there.
But yeah, acceptance plays a big role in healing and dealing.
Yeah.
With difficult situations, just accepting what's in front of you, not judging it, and trying to be as graceful as possible with how you're reacting to the situation. Mm-hmm. And that goes a long ways in healing and growing, I believe.
Yeah. So I came up against an experience that was very difficult and had basically an ultimatum put on me that I basically needed to wake up and smell the coffee or else. And that was very difficult for me. But I took on the challenge. And I know that we've talked about Ho'oponopono before on the show, and it's such a beautiful prayer that I think it's worth talking about again. Last time that we talked about it, I didn't know as much as I do know about it now. Before it was just a chant, and y'all know I like to chant. Any sacred chant is game for me because I've felt so much benefit from chanting. I consider myself a bhakti yogi, which basically means a devoted yogi. A yogi meaning bringing together the material and the spiritual. And the bhakti path is prayerful. And in yoga, a lot of the prayers are Sanskrit chants. But I definitely am not limited to just yoga. I'm just prayerful in general. So there's this chant that is from Hawaii, and it's called Ho'oponopono. And it's very simple, but when you add intention to it, it becomes super profound. And I've been working with this really strongly with myself over the last month and with people I work with and friends. And it's been profound for every single person that I've brought it to. So I'm going to bring it over the radio waves and the podcast frequencies so that all y'all can experience something that I have found to be a game changer, like a literal game changer. And like Dolores Cannon saying that forgiveness can break your karma, your wheel of karma. And if you think about it, the wheel of karma, the wheel of cause and effect, it's generally painful for every single human, no matter who you are, no matter what you own or don't own. So we could all use a little forgiveness.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read the directions to you, and then we will experience it musically. So step 1, sit quietly, breathe, and relax. Step 2, connect with the source of all creation in whatever words you wish to use. Step 3, identify the problem or the situation that you're being faced with. Step 4, reflect on this problem for a few moments and assess how it has affected you. Step 5, this is probably the most important one. Be prepared to accept 100% responsibility for this issue. 6, prepare to move forward with a different mindset. 7, be ready and willing to forgive yourself and the others. Step 8, repeat slowly while deep breathing 8 to 10 times. Keep your mind conscious on what you are seeking to clear. So I'm just going to simply go through the prayer itself now. The first part is acceptance. The first step to clearing the air for forgiveness to take place. Saying, I'm sorry, is the first step to healing. Admitting there is something wrong dwelling in yourself. The second part, forgiveness. Release the burden by asking the universe, please forgive me. And pause with this until you feel forgiven. Feel yourself cleansed of this issue. The third part is gratitude. Say thank you. After believing the universe has accepted your apology and pardoned your misdeeds, saying thank you for the healing for yourself and those connected to the issue, appreciation for the restoration and rebalance and healthy vibrations stirring within. And lastly, express love, saying I love you to send vibrations of love into the universe for yourself, your circumstance, your missteps, your weaknesses, and your experiences, both positive and negative. And also hold the vision of the person or people that you've just sought forgiveness from. So before we go further, I just want to say two things. One thing that I felt and that I've heard from other people I've shared this with is during the step of asking, please forgive me, a general feeling is feeling like you're already forgiven. And it's a very beautiful and soulful feeling. And the other piece that I want to share that I've experienced while working with others with this is the fear of asking forgiveness when it's been a really abusive situation. And what I say when somebody feels very nervous about forgiving somebody who's abused them is it's not about forgiveness from or for them as much as it is forgiving yourself and asking the forgiveness of the universe or God so that you can just feel free of it. So you're no longer burdened by it. So it's if you feel bad about forgiving someone in particular, start with yourself with this process. If it's just too much to picture that other person and forgiving them, don't worry about that first. It will come because you'll just be so blissed and elated and peaceful and joyful that you've forgiven yourself that it's going to be easy. That's been my experience. So that is the general directions. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold space for you to do this process by making a musical rendition of this chant for you to practice. And take your time with it. Don't rush through the steps. I found myself, I did this for hours recently, and it really became a game changer and shifted my ability to look at the situation I was in a way that nothing else has done. And I have tried many things, but Ho'oponopono was a game changer, and I'm working with it still. So I implore you to give this a try and give it as much open-mindedness and open-heartedness as you possibly can. So in your mind, picture the situation that you want to clear and then work with this. Be willing to take 100% responsibility. And it might not be for the other person, but it's 100% responsibility for yourself and your reactions, even if you were a child, because it's forgiving yourself now. So you don't have to repeat that pattern anymore. All right, let's do this. Let's raise our vibration and get off of our wheels of karma. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. into balance. Let us forgive this wheel of karma.
Cool song.
Meaningful, soulful prayer. I hope that y'all had an opportunity to clear some stuff out of your way. Like I said earlier, one day I just really wanted to let go of my past. And I literally did that from like 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. with a few breaks, but not many. And I tell you, by 11 p.m., I was feeling pretty blissful.
Yeah, it shifted your vibration.
Yeah.
Your consciousness.
Yeah. And I had this experience recently. The Other Door, for those people here in Viroqua, there's a place called The Other Door. And they do cool things. And they have had a monthly meditation on Mondays. And they had asked me to guide last Monday. And it was very cool. One of the people said, he was referencing asking me if I felt that doing more than just a regular, 20-minute or 10-minute practice a day, that because I've done these interesting, long meditations for myself, what does that feel like? He was asking me. And he was saying that he felt that people who go on meditation retreats or are monks or nuns or deeply involved in long meditations seem to have a different frequency. And I thought that was pretty cool. That's why I'm sharing it with you, because I found that really intriguing, because the reasons why I do these oddly long meditations is really just for my sanity. It's not for anything else. It's something inside of me says, sit, be still, and train your brain. And there's not any effort for me to do it. It's more a healthy survival skill versus all of the unhealthy ones that I'm trying to get out of. So for me, there isn't much effort to it. It's just like, I'm just going to sit here until I feel like I'm done. And, 12 hours might go by. That's just how it is.
Yeah. Well, you seem like you're in a better mood now after doing that.
Yeah, right. I had a long, long day. Yeah. So I'm grateful that I got to share that with you. I've been sharing that with anyone who will listen to me for the last 2 weeks. And it's been meaningful for everyone that I've shared it with. So I just figure that sharing this over the radio waves is going to help shift the vibration, and we could all use more forgiveness. One of the things that went through my mind as we were doing that is how I see it is, it's, if we go back to this idea of we're all in this our own individual wheel of karma, and we don't even know we're on it unless somehow something inside of you wakes up and goes, wait a minute, why am I doing this? Unless something comes along and brings consciousness to it, it is a subconscious thing that you're just doing because that's what you do. And it seems to me that the main thing that we're apologizing to is ourself for being on that wheel of karma, for repeating this lesson over and over, for being in second grade over and over and over. And we have this, and I'm not even sure if I gave that reference already or not.
Yeah.
the idea is that if this is the earth school and we don't have to, there's no judgment. It's not good or bad. It's not like, oh, you failed second grade, no. The idea is that we have a certain amount of lessons that we have to get through in this earth school. And until we graduate, we repeat the earth experience. And until we graduate a situation, according to Dolores Cannon, we will repeat the situation with the same souls over and over and over until that lesson is learned. And nobody's judging. Nobody, no being is angry for you repeating that lesson. And you can take lifetimes to do second grade or third or fourth or fifth or whatever. We're just using these grades as a human reference for those of us who've been through school. So the idea that we're on this wheel of karma and repeating a grade over and over and over is our choice as soon as we realize that it's happening. So this prayer is a way of acknowledging it. And I didn't even get it. Like, I knew I needed to sit and do this meditation, but I didn't know that it would take me back to the original wound. But it did. And then I looked at that original wound and said, oh, there's a lot of tears. I cried a lot. But I realized that that was the original wound. And I didn't need to repeat it anymore. And so that kind of changed my life, I think. I hope.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. I've made it a lot longer than my usual. So,
yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
On planet Earth, spinning in the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Energetically trying to figure things out.
I feel that a lot of humans, because we come here with our memories wiped, it's a fearful place. It's a scary place. There's a lot of scary things happening. And
yeah, especially if you watch the news.
Right. And we have to let go of fear. That in itself is a real mind-boggling idea.
Yeah, well, we have to let go of blame and shame and fear and victim stancing and excessive anger,
Taking everything personally.
Yeah, right. And just taking things too seriously.
Right.
I mean, life is more like a dream than this solid reality that we pretend it is.
Yeah. Both Dr. Joe Dispenza and Ajay Shanti, two very different schools of thought, both say that we have to wake up from the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really the only thing worth doing is moving towards waking up.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can move in that direction, we're going to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
If we are stuck, we're not going to feel good. If we move in the wrong direction, we're going to feel really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just use your feelings as a guide, actually, in some ways to determine, am I taking steps in the right direction?
Yeah.
And
yeah. So
it's kind of fun in ways.
It's entertaining. I'll give it that any day. I don't know about fun.
It's an adventure.
But it is entertaining.
Life's an adventure, no matter how you slice it. I mean, we're going to make lots of mistakes and we're going to suffer a lot, but there's going to be hopefully a lot of good times too. And in the end, if we can do more, if we can help more people than we hurt, then we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. And that's a pretty significant statement that you just said that a lot of teachers talk about. And one of the things that Dolores Cannon talks about is that if we want to, we can manifest anything we want. But if our intention is to harm or deprive somebody, including ourselves, that is causing more karma, more pain, more suffering.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's a pretty big one considering the trajectory of humankind right now.
Well, just our culture, yeah, we're kind of trained to feel malevolent about people. A certain group of people, or people who don't agree with us politically, or somebody who we're bickering with. We're trained to have like these malevolent thoughts, and that's encouraged,
and to want to deprive
on
them
some level. Yeah, and we want them to suffer, and etc. And in reality, I believe if we're actually having those kind of malevolent thoughts, what typically probably happens is that kind of manifesting energy just reflects back at us. And then we don't feel good, you know? And then we're like, oh, no, I really want that person to
suffer.
Yeah, then I'll feel better. It's like, oh, no, I feel worse now. No, it's because of them. It's because of them. It's
taking 100% responsibility for our state of being is very challenging.
And how about
accepting?
How about accepting the moment?
Well, that's somewhat the same.
Oh,
taking
it is.
100%
It's definitely
responsibility.
Related. Well, and accepting what's in front of us. That's a thing. It's like we've been trained to run around like, I don't know, a bunch of school children who are just bickering.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's probably, a certain group of people that maybe are on the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of humanity, maybe wants the rest of us to just fight amongst ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting at. And so, they promote that idea, and they have their ways of promoting ideas and their ways of influencing people. Mm-hmm. But once we wake up and realize that we really just need to make peace with each other. And that starts with making peace with ourselves. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is dependent on acceptance. If I can accept what's right in front of me, if I can accept my society, I accept it. We're in this like warring state. I accept that. I'm not going to throw a fit over it. I'm not going to be pissed about it. I'm going to accept it, but I'm going to do everything I can to put my energy into a peaceful solution.
Mm-hmm. Which is absolutely difficult when you're working against a collective vibe of...
Well, but there's more and more people waking up to that idea that if I'm walking around angry 90% of the time, I am the problem. I'm a big part of the problem, because it is those anger vibes that can, I don't know, if I'm angry, everybody around me is going to be suffering, and
yourself.
Yeah. And my culture. And then I'm feeding the war machine, essentially.
Yeah. And it's so counterintuitive. What we have, even way back in the 60s, they're protesting the war.
Well, yeah. Well, sure.
And now it's like, it's a new kind of protest that we need to do. And that is to be absolutely peaceful and working on our own mindset.
Well,
working on our own forgiveness of ourself and our life and our wheel of karma that
and our culture and all these unwise politicians. I mean, what good is it for us to hate them? That's just, again, that's feeding this hate vibration that haunts humanity.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just have compassion for them. I can have compassion for politicians. They're confused. We're all confused. They're maybe more confused than most people. Who knows? But by me hating them, it doesn't change anything. It just makes the situation worse. So, I mean, just moving in that direction.
We're fueling that 1% of the 1% of the 1%, or whatever you said. We're fueling their agenda.
Well, we're
being angry.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, we're kind of falling into their trap.
Right.
And
if we want to be wise, we have to be counterintuitive. And I mean, it's not really counterintuitive.
It's not counterintuitive.
It's counterculture.
Well, it is the counterculture now. Yes, to
I think it of always
believe in peace.
Has anyone done that in history?
I mean, in China there was like a period of 500 years where they lived in peace with each other.
Oh, okay.
So it has happened. I'm sure a lot of Native Americans lived in peace. Not all of them.
Right.
So it has happened. It's in us, but that it's really imperative that kind of vibration emerges these days with the way technology is going. And I mean, we're developing such, over the top, just weapons of war.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and why? We don't need to be at war with each other. We have enough water to share. We have enough oil to share. We have enough sunlight to share to make electricity for the entire planet. Mm-hmm. Let's face it. Let's get real and just know that if humanity stopped putting, if this country stopped putting half its resources into creating weapons and put those resources into creating solar panels, we'd have all of our energy needs would be met probably within 10 years from the sun. Mm-hmm. And it's just that's the power of refocusing our minds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, focusing on solutions.
And focusing on just the present and accepting the present and seeing the good and pouring your energy into solutions rather than fighting against the problem. And I know fighting against the problem can be like really appealing, because it's very exciting and you like to yell and you like to throw things and, et cetera. It's run around and which is fun. I get it.
But I would say that it's equally fun to get into a blissful state because you're feeling so peaceful and loved by the universe.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and go to like an ecstatic dance. That's fun, and that's like a non-judgmental, loving, primarily loving situation that it just feels really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Great place for healing if you have any dance trauma. Yeah. So on that note, Ecstatic Dance in Viroqua is the first Friday of every month.
Yeah.
So we just had it a few days ago for those of you listening to the show.
It's coming. Yeah.
So the next one would be the first Friday of May.
Yep, at the Landmark Center.
At the Landmark Center. And it's Ecstatic Dance is really another one of those game changers. And I found that a lot of people who have had a hard time with dancing, or they needed to get drunk before they dance, or things like that, it's a sober dance, and everybody just does their thing. And there's a intentional circle in the beginning and end, and then you just dance, and there's no talking on the dance floor, and you just do your thing. And it can be very healing and very fun, and it's a great way of being in community while having fun and healing at the same time. So that is something that happens here in Viroqua and in Madison. I know they our next big Madison Ecstatic Dance that we will be at is April 26th at Perennial Yoga, and Supersonic Soul Circle will be playing there at 6 p.m. and then the Ecstatic Dance is at 9 p.m.
Yeah, and Jay is a member of Supersonic Soul Circle.
Yeah.
And I'm a proud roadie.
We're very grateful for him. He's the first one up dancing, always.
Well, not always, but
mostly. But yeah, it's super fun. So for our Madison peeps or any local peeps here in Viroqua land that want to go do something super fun, that is very good. On announcements, is there any other announcements that we should make? I think that's...
Oh, April 14th.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
April 14th.
April 14, Sunday matinee, 4 p.m. at the Commons. It's going to be myself and Anthony Deutsch, who's a tremendous piano player from Milwaukee, the Milwaukee area. He's a professional pianist and just a great overall guy. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to be having a fundraiser for the Commons. Nice. And it should last from 4 to 5:30-ish. It should be a very interesting event, I would say.
Nice. April 14th at the Commons.
It's a Sunday
in the theater.
at 4,
Okay.
at the Commons. And it seems like a nice time.
Yeah.
Sunday at 4. I like that.
Yeah.
And I feel fortunate to be gigging with Anthony Deutsch because he's such a tremendous human being.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fellow meditator.
Yeah. Yeah. Believer in peace.
Right.
And love, really.
Yeah. And on the community note, I just want to, I guess, introduce this next project that we're working on, the Seedy Peeps. And it's a community project, musical experience that we're going to share with you next. And it's just along that lines of solutions and being peaceful and believing that if we can find that peace in our hearts and we can find that ability to collaborate together, that will ripple out and connect with all the other people that are doing the same thing.
Yes.
And I've heard before that a high vibrational person is worth 1 million dense people. So we don't need that many high vibrational people to balance it out.
To really change the world. And I do believe the world is evolving.
But it is. And we have to match it if we want to keep up.
Well, and we want to be part of the solution.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Seedy Peeps is a great experiential,
intentional,
musical, entity.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the reality is, when people really start working on vibrating maybe on a little higher level and just communing with each other, not judging each other, being kind to each other. Lo and behold, boom, it's fun. Mm-hmm. You're having a lot of fun, and it's worthwhile.
It reminds me of back in the day when people would go to the town square and dance, and there would be a band, and we don't really have that now these days. There's bars and there's like dance clubs with bars, but there's not the innocent community getting together and dancing and singing. Here in Viroqua, there are several things that do happen in the summer, and I'm grateful to be a part of those things. But we need more traditions, or we need more new traditions, and so the Seedy Peeps is one of those, and we're going to share that with you right now.
Join us
Seedy Peeps.
on this journey.
Seedy Peeps.
Seedy Peeps.
A wooden vessel of infinite size.
Seedy Peeps.
It will alarm you.
Keep your hands inside the vessel and make sure your seatbelt is on securely.
All aboard! The express train to bliss.
Ananda! Ananda! Ananda!
You got a heart.
Yes. Babies. Seedy Peeps. Join
He's going somewhere.